So, I have my rings now. I only have 5, which is wrong. I'm just going to take a knife and that one's all crooked. The hard part is just getting it straight, so take a knife, slice the ring. This is a tedious part. Get your ring. Remove. Repeat. There should be 6, so you want to cut them narrower than the armbands. And I'm going to use heat gun. You can use whatever you want as the grip on these. I just find these actually give a really nice grip. You want to give them a pretty even heat, otherwise they start to shrink unevenly. They're self-adhesive too, so they're not going to go anywhere once they're on here. Try and clean up the fuzzies. And that gives you a grip. I'm going to bring back our shaft. Our beautifully painted shaft. Not rushed in any way whatsoever. And these bands are for the shaft. Now, there should be again, just give them a little bit of a curve so that they fit better. A little bit of glue so they don't lift. And there are markings on the shaft as well, telling you where to line up your arms. Seems to be slightly short. Let's try again. I honestly know where the best place to start these is. I'm going to go in the middle of the flat section this time. possible you may want to actually get a little bit of Bondo in whatever hole is there. Really smooth these out nicely. Because as you can see, it does show. Now, this piece is supposed to be crystal clear with blue light. That didn't work. There is stuff that can do that. It takes 24 hours to cure properly. So in the interest of getting as many in as I could, these are garbage. Free replacements will be issued after the movie. Completely free. Those are just garbage. I will replace them. But it just pops in the end there. In this last band. Should be used to hide the seam line as much as you can, because yeah, that's probably going to be a not so great area of the build. And that'll integrate that into the end. So don't attach these permanently, because I will be replacing them for you. Probably put a little bit of tape on it, just to make sure it's a really nice friction fit so you don't lose it. But, yeah. We'll be working on those. And that is most of your shaft right there. One more band. One more band. This last band is flush with the handle. So again, you could use it to camouflage the quality of the back end. So that's your full shaft with all the banding attached, such as it is for now. We're back with most of the painted pieces. One thing I forgot to mention, if there are bubbles in your, well, anything really, knife, just poke it. So there's a little tiny hole for the air to escape, and then you can just work it right out. And that should eliminate the bubbling problems. That'll do. Okay, I have the body back. The paint on this is just god-awful because I did it in a hurry and it looks complete garbage. But I'm sure you can all do better. Because I'm in a hurry, I'm going to Sharpie in a bunch of stuff. We've got our handle. We have our buttons. So these are not perfectly straight, these holes. So try and make, they're good guides, but also make sure the buttons do in fact go on straight. Then we've got the rear spike. Again, not 100% quite sure what this is going to look like. This paint is very fresh, and it looks slightly tilted, so you might want to check that before you paint it. It's okay too. Just sand it a little bit until it's sitting nice and straight on the back end there. Now, I believe that this ring here is black. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of extra vinyl. You could do this with paint. You could do this with whatever you want. But I'm just going to make this black with vinyl because that's the easiest thing for me. Anyway, bit of glue, centered on the back end there, straight as we can go. You might consider a little bit of dowel, putting holes in both ends, and using a dowel to strengthen the connection between these two parts. But that's the spike. Then we get the cap, our shoddily painted topper. I'm going to fill with glue and attach as straight as possible, with lovely overflow and all that beautiful jazz. The handle should just insert into that slot, and that may well be enough of a fit that you don't even need to glue it. I still would, because it's the handle, you know. We don't want that flying out. But as you see fit to do with that. And there's your body put together. The shaft should just friction fit into that hole. And it doesn't line up straight. Okay. I would recommend getting a file of some sort and trying to go in there and manually correct the curve of the inner part here. That's not the ideal solution. I'm really sorry that that's a thing, if it happens to yours, but it should be correctable eventually. And we'll be checking that on the A poles later. It's definitely a B pole thing. Alright, so it's probably a good idea if you attach the last band of the arm at the end so that you can use it to hide the gap between the shaft and the handle. Like so, because that should butt up directly to here. Okay. Now this should just be a friction fit. Assembly of the pivot from the top had a fiberglass rod and PVC pipe. I took this out of here. It was in here earlier. This should be painted nicely. It's not. But you want to glue one end of your fiberglass rod into one of these rings. You want it to fit through like so and be able to turn freely. You're going to glue the other one on the other side as straight as you can. A little bit of glue into the ring here. Put this in and then cap it off. This will be sort of semi-permanent, unless you can think of a better way to do it. Possibly use a wood dowel and a screw. This is the part I'm least happy with. So I'm very much open to feedback on what's going on here. I would love to hear from you about that, your experiences with putting this part together, and how we can improve this in future versions. And once this is properly glued, these should be able to turn together. And then we'll be attaching the arms. Some of the references I've looked at have little black circles, some do not. I've included little black circles, so if you feel like putting little black circles on, go right ahead. I couldn't tell you where is the appropriate place for them. We'll find that out soon enough, but you are welcome to put little black circles in yours. And now we see these two are spinning together properly. You probably want to glue your shaft in so that it doesn't slide around. Now we can attach the arms. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue on both ends of this. Put my arms on and just try and keep them as straight and even as possible while the glue is curing. Alright. And then you have your arms on their pivots. So, I've been playing with the arms a bunch. I've ended up just gluing the resin pieces directly to the PVC tube and having the PVC tube spin. So, friction fit is good on the PVC tube. That seems to work. It seems to hold it. Please share your suggestions, share your build. Help us all figure out a better way to do this. As that stands, I don't know how I'm going to get the lighting in here. But that's your basic assembly of the baton for the Rush Before the Movie job. So, good luck everyone. May the Force be with you. And let's rock these.